What on earth brought us to the decision to bring back the classic taste which we so calmly abandoned back in April? Well, there is a twist to this story, which it seems to me will please every humanist, and will probably have Harvard professors puzzling for years. The simple fact is that all of the time and money and skill poured into consumer research on the new Coca-Cola could not measure or reveal the depth and abiding emotional attachment to original Coca-Cola felt by so many people. They said that they wanted the original taste of Coca-Cola back, and they wanted it soon. Now, we knew that we'd hear concerns from certain quarters, places where Coke is a vital part of the culture. And indeed, perhaps the greatest anguish did come out of the South, where we live. But the passion for original Coke, and that's the word for it, really, it's passion. That passion was something that just flat caught us by surprise. It is not only geographical, it occurs everywhere. It is not only a function of culture or upbringing or inherited brand loyalty. It's a wonderful American mystery. It's a lovely American enigma, and you can't measure it. You can't measure it any more than you can measure love or patriotism or pride. There's only one kind of primitive measure that you can take. You can answer your phones, and you can read your mail. And did we answer our phones? And did we read our mail? And we also watched television news, and we listened to the radio, and we read newspapers and magazines, which kept us nicely up to date on the human side of the news. People who hoarded original Coke or sold it privately at scalpers' prices, people who had cases shipped across the country or were considering an ocean voyage to pick up a supply at foreign ports, people who formed loyalist clubs and protest groups. And you members of the media were wonderful in keeping us so happily informed. But you, the press, didn't open our mail. Now, I didn't say that you would not open it. I just don't think you got there before we did. And therefore, I'd like to share a little of it with you. Now, I'm not going to read the positive mail. Roberto and Brian and I have passed those letters back and forth so often that they're tattered and dog-eared. But now for a bit of a humility lesson. Let me read you a few letters. Here's one from Michigan. A nurse writes, "My history with Coke covers a lifetime. I cut my teeth drinking Coke. I went to the drive-in restaurants and ordered Coke. I drank Coke for morning sickness while pregnant. I drank Coke, not coffee, studying for the final exams at nursing school. I still drink Coke for pickups and enjoyment of taste. We have brought Coke at our home by 3 cases at a time to be sure we don't run out. And here's another. Changing Coke is like God making the grass purple, or putting toes on our ears, or teeth on our knees." And here's one. "Dear sir, you have fouled up by changing the only perfect thing in the world. Before the courts fouled up by breaking the phone company, there were 2 perfect things, and now that you've changed Coke, there are none." Here's one that starts, "Dear Chief Dodo." Well, I passed that along to Roberto unopened. But he told me what it said. Quote, "What ignoramus decided to change the formula of Coke? The new formula is unexciting and it's as bad as Pepsi. Burn it." Here's a letter from California. "I don't think I'd be more upset if you were to burn the flag in our front yard." And a real patriot writes, "Changing the flavor of Coca-Cola would be like tearing down the White House." Here's one. "Dear sirs, Coke has always been like apple pie and mom, something you could count on. I'm glad the person who came up with this dumb idea wasn't around when the Mona Lisa was painted. He probably would have said that her smile wasn't big enough." Well, these people, and thousands like them, have gone public with their love affair for Coca-Cola. Well, what we want them to know is it's mutual. We want them to know that we're really sorry for any discontent that we may have caused for almost 3 months. And Coca-Cola Classic is truly a celebration of their loyalty and a vindication of their cause. After by the way, the initial reaction, the consumer reaction since the announcement at 3:18 yesterday was incredible. Yesterday afternoon, after Coca-Cola Classic was announced, we received over 6,000 telephone calls. Overnight, another 7,600 were received, and by this morning, in the first hour of business, we'd received over 1,300 calls. The overwhelming reaction of consumers is one of excitement. Most of them are emotional, and honestly, many in tears. But their message is the same: we're glad to have our old friend back. Well, what does all of this really mean? It only means what we say, that our boss is the consumer. Some critics will say Coca-Cola has made a marketing mistake. And some cynics say that we planned the whole thing. The truth is, we're not that dumb, and we're not that smart.